Alright guys, welcome back to another weekly manga review, and this week's chapters were all kind of setups for future events, rather than actual fights or anything. But Naruto, it was pretty crazy. Naruto chapter 599, Uchiha Obito. And there was really no dialogue in this chapter. It's basically just Obito's flashback, and how he was always second to Kakashi. He was kind of the Naruto of his group, I guess. And he's just kind of taking the exams. He's always late, or because he's doing other things like helping an old lady cross the street, just things like that. And it just, the last panel is we see Toby without the mask, and it's Obito, I guess. I don't know. I'm not really sure what to make of this, because I still feel that there's got to be some twist. I don't know what it is, but this guy cannot be Obito. It doesn't make sense to me. It's just way too predictable. It's just everybody's been saying this for so long. I just don't think it's a good idea that it just ends up being Obito behind all of this. I mean, why would he even do any of this stuff? And I'm sure that they would have like a flashback where it shows Obito's past and why he would want revenge and why he wants to do the Moon's Eye plan. But as it is, it's just the whole, ever since we saw Toby, people have been kind of piecing it together once we saw that Toby was the leader. And it was kind of like rearrange the letters. He has the wound on his eye, and it's just, it seemed very obvious. And because of that, I just feel like there's some type of swerve coming. I don't know what it is. Maybe he takes the shape of the person whose eye he's using, and he's using Obito's at the time. Or maybe it's an illusion or something he's using to mess with Kakashi. I don't know, but I just don't see this ending with Obito. It's just kind of, yeah, just way too predictable. So next chapter is Bleach 505, The Fire. And this was a pretty good chapter. Yamamoto is pissed off. He tells Hisagi that he's going to slay them all with his own hands, and he flies off, and all the captains sense this. They sense that Yamamoto is enraged. Before, they all kind of felt like this is hopeless, we're getting destroyed here. But now that Yamamoto has showed up, they feel inspired, I guess you would say, to continue. And Yamamoto finds the leader of the Vandenreich. He's holding up an injured Kenpachi, so we didn't really get a Kenpachi fight. Maybe they'll show it in next week's chapter, but right now it looks like Kenpachi's just done for, and the leader's holding him up, and Yamamoto shows up behind him, and he says it's been over 1,000 years, Juha Bak. So he knows this guy, and the leader just looks at him. Now, I know Yamamoto's a badass, and I'm still skeptical that anyone is dead. I think Byakuya's gonna come back, and everybody, Rukia, Renji. I don't think they're dead. And I think this is it for Yamamoto. I'm not saying he would stay dead either. I would hope that if they're going to kill off characters, they stay dead. But Byakuya being one of the major characters, Rukia, come on. How can anybody believe Rukia is dead? It's just not going to happen. So, yeah, something's going to happen. There's going to be some twist. Unohana's Bankai or something's going to bring back the dead. I don't know, but as it is right now, they've built Yamamoto up as a badass just so the leader, Juha Bak, can knock him down. So we see how powerful he is, because there is no way that Yamamoto is going to show up, beat this guy. Although I do see the other captains putting up more of a fight against the Quincy's now, but it really would be a horrible idea for it to just end that way. Like, all the captains get inspired, they fight back, they win, Yamamoto beats the leader. Something's going to happen, Ichigo's going to have to show up, and who knows. But yeah, right now from this chapter, I just have the feeling that Yamamoto is done for. But he looked badass. So One Piece chapter 679, Determination G5. The cover page is Karabo's brother shows up. Jinbe still has him trapped in a barrel. They're floating to the surface, and his brother and his ship show up. We see Chopper escape with the information on the drugs. And Monet sees this. And it's either going to end up being that Monet is the one who gave him the paper so that Chopper could escape, or she's going to end up being Chopper's fight for this story arc. So, where am I here? Virgo is going to take action because he's pissed off. He can't leave this up to Caesar anymore. If Law or Smoker escape, he's going to have big problems. So he's getting ready to do something. He doesn't do anything in this chapter. He just gets ready to. But yeah, he's on his way to go screw some stuff up. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'm interested to see what his power is going to be. I like the character. It was funny. He says something like, "Where's my sword?" And Monet says, "Well, you're not a swordsman." And he says, "That's right." So that was funny. And Caesar has a plan to seal off Lab B and then expose Lab A to the poisonous gas outside. And that's where pretty much everyone's located. However, we see Luffy, the Straw Hat Pirates, trying to get through the door. Luffy makes it through the door. And the rest of them follow through. Zoro, Brook, Kinemon, Sanji, the dragon even, Brownbeard, all of them are making their way through. They get in a fight with G5, and Tashigi shows up, stops them. She clashes swords with Zoro and says, "You guys go on ahead." And then she tells the G5, "We don't have time for this, we need to get on ahead." And they actually end up hit by the gas because the gas gets inside, and as the G5 members are getting killed, the rest of them throw Tashigi through. So they lose a lot of G5 members here. There's still some left, but a lot of them sacrifice themselves to save Tashigi. And then we just see Caesar saying that he will not let any of them survive. He's really pissed off and angry now. So I thought it was an interesting chapter. It definitely sets up one of Oda's, map designs that he uses, like in Enies Lobby, or Thriller Bark, or Alabasta, or Skypiea, all of that stuff, where he just shows, like, here's where the Straw Hats are, and here's where the enemy is, and they got to go here and here, and then Chopper's here fighting this person, Zoro's here. And I always liked those designs. I thought it was really cool, so it was fun to see this one back. I mean, he does it like every arc, and we got one now for Punk Hazard, and it's going to kind of set up the events of where everybody is, who they're going to fight, and so yeah, I like that. Of course, all the Straw Hats made it through. No one's going to die this way by the gas, but yeah, Caesar's pissed off. Virgo's coming. He's probably going to be fighting Law and Smoker, and I guess Luffy's going to have to fight Caesar, but I do expect some major government stuff to happen here. I'm not really sure what they're going to do, but I do have that feeling still about this arc that it's one of those arcs where it seems like it's just kind of a side arc, but something big is going to happen to set up future events, because it is the New World. Who knows, maybe Big Mom or one of those people that Luffy's pissed off in the past shows up, or maybe even just her crew, and that lion turtle guy, and then the really tall guy. So a lot of fun, exciting stuff could be happening here in One Piece soon. But like I said earlier, this week's chapter is really just setting up future events for all three mangas. Bleach was setting up Yamamoto and the other captains getting like inspired. One Piece was setting up where everybody's going to be going, and Naruto, of course, reveals that Toby is Obito. Maybe. I mean, I guess that's what everybody's going to believe. I'm still skeptical myself. I'll have to see what happens. I guess next week is probably going to be a flashback for Obito if it is him. But yeah, it's just, seriously, Obito? Like, I don't know. I guess it makes sense, kinda, but because of the eye and everything like that and the name, but it just doesn't. He's going to have to come up with something clever, a real good reason why Obito would be doing this. So yeah, I am excited for next week's chapters. But anyway, that's it, guys. That's my review of this week's Weekly Shonen Jump manga chapters. Hope you guys liked this video. Leave your thoughts on this week's chapters in the comments below, and thanks for watching.